Hi everyone, welcome to the Springboot Zero to Hero series. So this is second video, Spring versus Springboot, and basically after this we will be start setting up our project, and through that project we will cover all the major concepts. So it will be a e-commerce project, and next video which will be released probably by end of the day today, and we will be doing actual coding implementation and a very nice project around it. Right now, let's see the difference between Spring and Spring Boot. Actually, the comparison why to use Spring and why where to use Spring Boot kind of things, right? So both are the backend framework used to develop actually. Now the features of Spring, you will get inversion of control and dependency injection, modular architecture where it supports MVC and the AOP, that is basically aspect oriented programming, and transaction management, right? So do not get confused whether it's inversion of control, dependency injection, or AOP. So we will be doing detail around this, right? So it also have the manual configuration where you configure by yourself, right? So it gives you a lot of control around it. Extensibility, since you can manually configure it, right? You have to manually configure it, so that's where it gives extensibility actually. Now the features of a Spring Boot that basically overcomes of these issues, or whatever you say, auto configuration. So based on the libraries present in the class path, it automatically configures those components, right? So that is auto configuration feature. We have embedded server, that is by default a Tomcat embedded server that comes up, so you don't have to provide external server support kind of stuff, right? Starter, so it comes out for pre-configured dependency, that is starter dependency that we say, right? That you add in your pom.xml. So that is another thing. Then actuator, actually basically it provides you the monitoring for your application, right? You can monitor the health of your application. It provides an URL. So we will be doing all these things in the our upcoming full video of the project implementation. Convention over configuration follows default to minimize manual configuration, speeding up the development, right? That is the feature of Spring Boot. Benefits of Spring, basically, since it is you have to configure it actually, so you get the full control and the robust ecosystem. Obviously the Spring has been used by so many companies, actually it's a legacy one. So a lot of MNCs currently works on the Spring, right? A lot of support is available on the Spring. Now drawbacks of a Spring, because you have to do manual configuration, it takes time, there's less boilerplate kind of stuff. So you a lot of time required to learn and understand it, right? So that you can say that drawback of a Spring. Basically benefits of a Spring Boot is same: rapid development, simplified development, because server is attached, a lot of configuration is already done. So that is the benefit of Spring Boot, right? um, Drawbacks of a Spring Boot: limited flexibility, since it pre-configured a lot of things, right? So that is one of the drawbacks of a Spring Boot. Debugging complexity, because override defaults or troubleshoot auto configuration settings can be difficult. Sometimes it is difficult to uh, debug the Spring Boot application, right? When to use, basically Spring, that is in the legacy system it is being used actually. So for the large scale enterprises, MNCs are currently using it. So if you are working in any company or organization, you will basically see the Spring. Now the latest one, you can work on the Spring Boot, where with microservices, rapid prototyping, and the simplicity around the application, because a lot of things comes up pre-built actually, right? So that's where the Spring Boot helps. This is basically a theoretical concept. You must know these differences in any interview or anywhere. It can be asked. Also, it helps you to understand the project better. Now, in the next video, we will be setting up the e-commerce project, right? And you can get this document actually complete, and we will be, as we go through the videos, we'll be adding everything in this document, so it helps you to prepare quickly and understand project or the Spring Boot in better way, right? If you're taking this document, apart from this document, you get a lot of other resources actually, which is related to Java development. So link is in the description. Fill the form and you will get the document. All the best.